Hello everybody and welcome to another video from Mida Travel. Today we are going to be looking at the 3 exclusive restaurants on board the Marella Voyager.
Yeah, my favourite subject, food. So today we're going to be looking at the Silver Fork, which is a brand new restaurant for Marella and is only available at the moment on Voyager. It's British food with a modern twist. We'll let you know more about that as we come to it. And it costs £36.95p per person. We've also got Kora, which is their Pan-Asian restaurant, and that at the moment costs £28.45 per person. And then finally, we will look at Surf and Turf, which currently costs £33.95 per person. So total cost for all 3 restaurants is £98.95, which seems quite expensive.
It does seem expensive, but you've got to think to yourself, when you go out to an average restaurant, you will probably be paying about £80 to £100 for the 2 of you for one restaurant. So when you look at £90 per person for all 3, that's quite a bargain, really, when you think you're getting 3 to me, my opinion, top class restaurants for £98 each.
Yeah, I have to say, on the whole, that I thought the food on Marella Voyager was a class above what we had last year on Marella Discovery 2. The Voyager food I thought was excellent. And I guess for us, we wanted to try all the restaurants. One, we took friends with us this year, and so it was nice to show them the different types of restaurants. But 2, it's about, for us, having the whole experience. And I think that's what we got. We tried the restaurants, and let's say what we thought of each one individually.
Okay. Well, let's start off with the Silver Fork. Okay, so first of all, location on the ship. You will find the Silver Fork on deck 5, I believe it is, just next to the reception, so in their atrium, which isn't as nice as Discovery 2, but it's still good, and it's right down there. You'll see the double doors at the side, and it is welcoming you to the Silver Fork.
Yeah, and I have to say, from the moment that you see it from the outside, you can see it's going to be classy inside.
Definitely.
And as you walk through, service was impeccable. They're ready for you at the door the minute that you go in. And we were able to go in a few days earlier and check out, which is a good tip, I think.
Yeah,
go earlier. Check out which table you fancy, because we were able to go in sort of a couple of nights before and just say, we're due to come, can we have this table?
We were naughty as well. We were cheeky because we had the afternoon tea booked for a day or 2 after that, so we just asked them if we could have the same table.
One surprise I did have in there was a piano, and I was a little bit disappointed that there was no pianist playing on the night that we were in.
Yeah, considering the restaurant really does feel posh. I mean, the crockery, the service, everything about it is really posh.
I love the way the serviettes were folded as well.
I love the fact that they brought you that little starter, like the crackling, but we'll talk about that now as well.
Yeah. The crackling, that was the first thing that came. That was nice.
That you thought was popcorn. It was crackling and you had salt to it, but it was lovely.
Yeah, it was nice when I tried it. I knew it was crackling when I tried it. So should we have a look at the menu?
Yes.
Quite a varied menu. What did you fancy off there?
Well, I actually went for the coronation chicken. Now, to start with, I was like, a bit weird coronation chicken for a starter, but it was actually almost like a curry terrine of chicken, and it was absolutely stunning. And it came with these beautiful little crackers and this gorgeous little chutney. And do you know what? I would have had it 10 times over. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I went for the coronation chicken as well. And when it was actually served, the nice thing in that restaurant is as they serve you each item, they tell you all about it. And the service was definitely, I think, a class above the other restaurants. It was nice to have each dish explained, because when it came and it was put in front of me, no way did I think it was coronation chicken.
No, I thought I'd been given pate. I didn't realise, but no, it was a terrine. It was lovely.
But when we tried it, it was absolutely beautiful, and you could definitely get the taste of coronation chicken.
But we were lucky. Mike and I are very similar with our taste, but luckily we have friends with us this time, and they had something different. So I think the only other starter that we had on that menu was the fish and chip shop.
Yes, the chip shop. I can never say that.
Chip shop favourites.
Scallops.
Yes, chip shop favourites or something like that. But basically, it was a collection of chip shop favourites, and on there, I think he had 2 chunky chips that look
Yeah.
gorgeous. He had
Was there a couple of scallops?
and he had a little bit of battered fish or something. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what it was, but
And
it
I
was
know he
beautiful.
really enjoyed it.
Mm.
He said how good it was, and we loved ours.
Mm.
So starters, definitely a winner, and we couldn't fault it.
No, definitely.
So mains.
Okay. Now I've got to try and remember what I had for mains because I literally ate so much on that ship. Refresh, remember, what did I have for my mains?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, I know what I had. I had the beef Wellington, and you had the pie.
Oh, I remember what I had. The pie. Oh, that pie was absolutely insane. So we'll start with mine. Okay.
Go on then.
I think I won with this choice. So I had basically a pie. I think it was like a beef sort of pie, but also with short rib on the side. And it came as that, a pie with short rib and gravy. And oh my good God, it was probably the most gorgeous, tasty pie I think I've ever had in my life. And the meat was so tender.
Was it that good?
Yeah, I want it now.
Because I had a real issue with the mains because there were about 3 that I wanted.
That's the problem.
And in the end, I decided to go for the signature beef Wellington. But when your pie came, I did start to wonder if I'd made the wrong decision. But let me tell you, it's not a signature beef Wellington for nothing. The beef Wellington was superb. And I could have ate it all over again.
Yeah, because you and our friend, one of our friends had that, didn't you? What did...
He had the pork crayfish with black pudding.
Yes. I can't comment on that. I don't eat fish at all, so I can't comment on that. But it looked nice.
Yeah, well, he said he enjoyed it, but we're not really fish eaters, are we? But
no.
He had a lot of fish on the ship, and he was always full of praise for the fish.
Really good.
But definitely, mains was a big winner again, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. But then
the beef Wellington,
the pie. But then nipping on to the desserts now.
Oh,
now, here we go.
Here we go.
Can you remember what you had?
Now we're talking. No.
Desserts. Now, for some people, this is the best part of the meal. For me, I love my desserts. I had, which isn't on our video, I had the sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, I've got no pictures of that, unfortunately.
Because I ate it too fast. It was amazing. It really, really was amazing. But
I had apple crumble. And oh my word, I'd been dying to have an apple crumble, but it wasn't what I expected. It was like an apple had been put on my dish.
It was very theatrical.
Yes, but it was very beautiful.
It was. It did look really pretty, to be fair. And it didn't look anything like an apple crumble, but it tasted amazing.
Oh, it tasted amazing.
I tried it, obviously.
Oh, I tell you, it was absolutely superb. And I do love apple crumble. And I would have that again any day of the week.
But can I just quickly say, Mick, jumping off that, I was very, very jealous about one of our friends' dishes, the jam roly-poly, old school, and it did look beautiful. And even he said it was stunning. So
I think it is definitely the sort of place you would eat there and maybe want to go again. I look forward, if we do Marella Voyager ever again, then I am back to the Silver Fork. Definitely. And they also need to get Silver Fork on their other fleet, the rest of their fleet, because it is an experience not to be missed.
It is an experience not to be missed, and I have seen some not negative reviews, but not as happy reviews about Silver Fork. But our opinion on the subject matter was it was absolutely fantastic. We could not fault it at all.
Well, we could. They were lacking the pianist.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been nice to have had a little bit of background music.
Okay, so we've discussed the Silver Fork. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so the next restaurant I think we should discuss is, two actually. It's going to be Kora and the Surf and Turf Steakhouse. Now, the reason why we're going to use these two together is because they are in the same location. So, can you remember where they were?
Yeah, I think they're on deck 7.
Mm-hmm.
So
at the aperitif bar.
Yeah, the aperitif bar, and it's the aperitif bar. By the way, is a great place to have a pre-drink before you go for your dinner at either Kora or Surf and Turf. And again, there's somebody meeting you at the entrance to the two restaurants, and they will show you to the seat, which was a nice touch.
So let's talk about, first of all, Kora. I think Kora first, because obviously Surf and Turf isn't there. I think it was their previous showstopper, wasn't it? So Kora first.
Well, firstly, I will say that it felt a little bit of an afterthought to shove it off Surf and Turf. And although it was nice inside, it just seemed a little bit not like a proper restaurant.
Ideally, if you're looking at the makeup of the ship, it's a corridor. It's one of the side corridors, but they've blocked it off and turned that part into the restaurant. It literally is at the side of Surf and Turf, so you have to go through Surf and Turf to get to Kora.
I don't know. I didn't think it was as nice as Surf and Turf and the Silver Fork.
No, the location wasn't great, but to be fair, I'm gonna be honest from my point of view. I wasn't feeling great that night, but the food was actually lovely. And if you watched our video from before, we weren't that fussed.
No,
Kora
Kora we were
first time round.
disappointed with on Discovery 2, and I think this one definitely we saw a massive improvement with the food.
Yeah, I love my curry because they changed them round. I thought they would be the same curries, but they changed the curries round. They had a lot more of an Asian influence, I think. Chinese, Japanese sort of style food in there as well.
Did they bring you anything to the table before the meal?
They did.
I think it was poppadoms and...
So they put you at the starters, like
naan bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they also did do another little extra, wouldn't it? That sort of like it was almost like a dessert amuse-bouche. It was strange, that like milky, drinky stuff.
I wasn't a fan.
But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's start off with the starters. So for starters, I remember I had the bao bun. Oh yeah, I had the bao bun, and if I remember rightly, that was gorgeous.
The bao bun, yeah, that was really nice.
And that was really nice. I can't remember what the boys had, to be fair, but to be fair, that starter for us was fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And then the main.
Well, see, I had different to you.
I had like a triple serving of curry.
You did. They did like a tip. I'm gonna say it's like a tiffin box. It's not though. It's a selection.
Of
curries. And you get a little bit of everything on there. And I wasn't in the mood for that. I just wanted a plain old curry, but it looked.
It was very nice because I was a bit sort of unsure what it would be like because last year we had the korma on Discovery 2 and it tasted nothing like a korma. So I was a little bit worried that we were going to have a similar experience. But I have to say, the 3 curries that came, basically they were served in three little dishes, and obviously your plate came with the rice, etc. And I have to say that each one of the 3 tasted really good. I really enjoyed the meal.
But what was nice this time round, because we had some friends with us who are going to be quite experimental with their food, one of them didn't have a curry. They had, now I'm going to pronounce this right, it's either called a po or a pho, which was almost like a soup ramen dish. And
it was like never ending.
It was absolutely amazing.
So Dave, we haven't covered dessert at Kora. So what did you have for dessert? Because I often find Asian desserts don't match up to sort of...
It didn't match up either, because to be quite honest, I ordered what sounded nice. It was called a cotton cheesecake or something or other.
I ordered the same.
I think we all had the same.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too great, if I'm honest.
Do you know what? I don't think it was awful, but I don't remember and look back and think, oh, that was delicious. No. But I'm definitely, as I say, I'm not a fan of Asian desserts on the whole, so it wasn't too surprising. But Kora, do you think it was worth the money?
Yes, I do. I definitely think it's better than when we were on Discovery 2. Definitely. I love my curry, and I love the introduction of this. I think, if I remember right, I think you said 3 curries, but I think it was 4 on there.
I think now you mention it, yes, there was 4 curries.
Because I remember being really jealous of the fact that I had 1. Notes. But I think you and one of our friends had that dish as well. Which
I like the way they were served as well. And I have to say as well, the onion barges were to die for. They were lovely.
Oh, one more thing though before we go. We've forgotten that awful. For me, it was awful. It was like, I don't know what it was. I don't know what you call it. It was like I'm just call it a dessert amuse-bouche. It was.
Did it come before?
It was a pre-dessert. And it was like a milky drink with green jelly on the bottom. It was horrible, not for me.
I don't think anybody at our table liked it at all, did we? So we definitely pass on that one next time.
But that was Kora in a nutshell. Great. I think probably the best value for money on the ship when it comes out of all the 3 restaurants. And you do get a good meal. You do leave there feeling full and satisfied.
I really enjoyed Kora this time. So I was really pleasantly surprised. Dessert, a bit mediocre, but the rest of the meal was absolutely superb. So yes, we definitely give a thumbs up for Kora.
And now on to the one thing that we were waiting for, and that was the comparison about this surf and turf to the Discovery 2 surf and turf.
We like our steaks.
We'll start off with what we thought of this surf and turf.
Right, firstly, I have to say, on the whole, I think it was on a par with Discovery 2. It was probably my favourite restaurant on Discovery 2.
I'm a massive fan, if anyone knows me, of Miller and Carter. It was nothing like that. Again, you were in the same sort of situation as Kora. You felt like you were in the corridor. The kitchen was right there. It was hot. The hot plates were all on. It was bright.
I do like being able to see them cooking, though.
Yeah, I do as well. But like I said to you, it just didn't feel like it was a restaurant. It felt like it was a corridor.
See, to me, it felt more like a pub.
Do you know what? Yeah, you're right. I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
It did. Whereas I felt that the Surf and Turf on the Discovery 2 felt like quite a posh restaurant. The way it was designed, this was very much like a pub.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
And of course, I think probably because they're now making Silver Fork their sort of premier restaurant, I think probably they've not put location-wise and restaurant-wise quite as much effort into it on the Voyager.
But food-wise, let's go to my steak first, because I know you've got your opinions on this. So,
should we do? Did we have a start? Yes, we had a starter.
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, you can't forget that.
Now, this starter was actually quite theatrical, wasn't it?
Oh, it was just like
tell them what you had.
It was just like my apple crumble. I had pate with cherry jam and brioche,
toasted
brioche, and you've all seen already the green apple I had as my apple crumble. I got a red cherry, which was the pate.
Red apple.
Oh, I thought it was a cherry.
I think it was a red apple, wasn't it?
It was cherry crumble. It was like cherry jam.
I think I'm wrong.
I think it's cherry.
I think it was a red cherry.
Well, you'll see the picture, so we'll let you decide.
Yeah.
I think it was a cherry.
I had the same as you, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was a meal itself. I probably had half of it and I was full. It was massive. There was so much pate.
It was big. And the brioche was lovely. I really liked.
But I had to use my bread roll and then another bread roll, and I still had half left.
But I'm sure if you'd have asked for another bread roll, they'd have got you another bread roll.
Yeah, they would have, but I was full before my steak came.
But it was really nice.
It was nice.
I really enjoyed. I can't remember what our friends had.
Oh, God, no.
If I've got a picture, I'll put it up for you now.
But going to my steak. So first of all, my steak, I loved my steak. I thought my steak was lovely. I had my onion rings with it. And I think they sort of only want you to choose two sides, but I think we twisted their arm and we had three. And I can remember having the green beans with smoked bacon in a tomato sauce.
So do you get, just going back a little bit, so obviously you pick your steak. Do you then pick a sauce as well?
You do, and I always have peppercorn. I'm boring. Everywhere I go.
What did I have? Because it was beautiful.
You would have had the...
I don't know, but it was really nice.
Was it the wine? I think it was the wine one.
Was it?
There must have been like a red wine sauce.
Probably something like that.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
It was.
And then you pick, so you've got a selection of sides. Yes. I think there's quite a good selection. And yes, I think they like you to only have a small selection, but we managed to, I'm sure if you ask, they will accommodate. Yeah. So I had the chips, the really nice, thick, chunky chips. I had truffle mash and I had the sauteed mushrooms.
And I had basically the same, but with the green beans, bacon, and tomatoes as well.
I have to say it was really nice. The steak was cooked just as we wanted it.
But can I just quickly divulge? So if you watched our videos from Discovery 2, we said to you about the steak in Vista.
Yes.
It still exists. And I had it about 4 times. It still exists. So if you don't want to go to Surf and Turf, or you want to revisit that experience, go to Vista. I think they change the menu every 2 or 3 days, and that steak appears on it, and I love it.
We were big fans of Vista on Discovery 2. It was probably our favourite restaurant, but Vista on Voyager was just as good, and the steak meal was superb. So yes, not quite the service, and although service is very good in Vista,
not the right ambiance,
but not quite the same experience as going to Surf and Turf. But it's a really good steak if you like your steak.
Yeah. So now dessert at Surf and Turf. Now this is where the dessert should be like really basic, lush desserts, and I had just that. I had basically, I can only imagine it's like chocolate brownie chunks with ice cream and toffee sauce. And that, to me, was heaven.
That makes two of us because I had the same.
I'm not one into these fancy schmancy desserts. Give me something like that. I'm done.
Chocolate
I'm
and
loving
ice
it.
cream.
Yeah,
What
loving
more
it.
could you ask for?
So that's what we had, and it was absolutely beautiful. I don't know what
Yeah.
our friends had on that one, but I can only comment on ours.
No, I'm not sure if there's pictures. I'll put them up, but certainly I know for mains that one of them had the mix of lobster tail and steak.
Yes. Oh, no. There's a tip. There's a tip coming, guys, because we learned from one of the staff there. I can't remember who it was, and they stated that if you don't eat fish, you can have steak and chicken, was it, or something like that? You can have you can have turf and turf. I'm sure she did.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
she
remember.
did say
So
yes.
you've got to ask if you don't like fish like ourselves.
Yeah.
We didn't know this.
But you don't just want steak.
There's
then...
an option where you can have turf and turf. And I can't remember the combination, but yes, we didn't know this, and I wish I'd have known because I would have had turf and turf. Crazy.
I don't think it's turf and turf, though, is it?
No, I think it is turf.
Oh,
and
is
turf.
it turf and
Yes,
turf?
called turf
Okay.
and turf. Yeah. Right. So moving on, we have.
Yes, shall we sort of then recap
Give an
on
overall
all
overview?
three and just give overall view? So let's start with Silver Fork. Number one, definitely.
Loved it.
Food was amazing, and it certainly did surprise with the twist. And we absolutely love Silver Fork. The restaurant is really nice. The ambience is brilliant. Just get some
Get pianist in there
and get a little bit of live music.
For that, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it's just that pianist that's needed.
Oh, I'm going 9.5.
Let's go to Kora. I love Kora. I thought Kora was a lovely, lovely restaurant. It just needs to be in a restaurant and not a corridor. The food this time was superb. It had such great reviews on Discovery 2 by other people, not so much from ourselves. It's regained its status, I think, as a good restaurant.
I thought the meal, it was forgettable on Discovery 2, but the meal on this, in this Kora on Voyager was absolutely brilliant. And that main and the 4 different curries was amazing.
It's an 8 out of 10 for me.
I think I would go with the same. I think I'm with you on that one. 8 out of 10, I think is a fair score.
And then the last one is the Surf and Turf restaurant. So I love this restaurant. It's basic. It's a steak. It was cooked really well. I can't complain.
Service was first class.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah, I mean, I think the service was amazing, as you would expect in all of the specialty restaurants. The meal, I really enjoyed the food. So, do you know what? I'm going to agree with you again. I'll give it a 9.
And the reason why they're not being given 10s is because they're missing something. So the corridor aspect there and the pianist on the Silver Fork.
So I think really, if you want to experience everything there is on Voyager, then I think it's great to go and try all the different restaurants. Yes, it is extra to what's all inclusive, but I think the experience definitely on Voyager in our sort of experience was do it. It was really good food and a good experience.
Worth it. Okay, guys, so that wraps up our video. We thank you so much for watching. We've enjoyed discussing the 3 different restaurants. If you like our content, please do us a favor, like and subscribe, because obviously we've got a lot more content to come.
Yeah, and we're going to be bringing all of the other restaurants that are included, such as Vista, Latitude, and we've got a lot to say about the kitchens.
Oh, yeah. So stay tuned for that one. So, guys, have a great night. Take care.
And hopefully we'll see you again. And thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.